Not so plebby, are you? Thanks, Enzo. Alright, we're at 1500 in our speed run here. Have you missed any? Not today. I don't know if you've missed any in the past, but not today at least. Right, we're at 1500, gonna continue our brand new opening speedrun. Right here on the systematic account. Let's jump in. Okay, a little chessbrah flare spotted. Okay, b4. You'd think we're gonna take, but we're not. Queen f6. And the knight gets attacked. I think it's time to move it. Let's just go back to b8. Here. Might be good to start with this anyway. Otherwise, knight a6 is the normal reaction here. So we want to keep our queen out here and play knight e7. So the question is, do I play this, bend that, or do I just play that? Now let's go here, and then I'll play knight a6 if this. I don't know if it will be played. Okay. a4 is a bit strange because yeah, there's no time to play a5 right away, and now a5. I'll just go back. Let's go ahead and stop that. This is the setup we want. Okay, very aggressive. Very aggressive. Very aggressive. Sending. I want to get this out here. Also knight f4. This is kind of a threat here. I generally don't like taking, because that annoying pawn on e3 just covers everything we want to do. So, in general, I just don't take. Sometimes it's even a good move to take, but I like to abstain. Okay, let's hit this. I'm assuming we'll see that. Continue like maybe bishop e2, knight f4, so just trying to keep adding a little bit of pressure every time. Let's use the rooks now. They're kind of set up perfectly. Let's stick with a check. Let's take this. And most importantly, I'm gonna play g6. If I double, then maybe the knight like sneaks in somehow. So let's just do this. Rook b3 should force the king over. I'm not taking any chances with knight f5. We're just not gonna allow it. Period. And yeah, this threat should be pretty significant. So now maybe get our knight in here. Knight e2, rook b2. So doesn't really have a good answer to our knight f4 move. Jack. Jack. Just kind of taking everything here. Just gonna win the rook. So so he stops that. Very smart by him. Wonder what the best plan is here. I think it's just getting my other rook in, just going for mate. Rook g2 and rook h1 is a forced mate here. Good game. Always sad to take down a chessbrah flare. But yeah, this is one of our new systems here against the Scotch. Most of our systems with the black pieces involve the queen on f6 and the knight on g6. So that makes them slightly easier to remember. And yeah, d5 leaves us quite cramped. And we got to see an early knight b5. I think this was the right idea. Knight a6 I might need to do. But yeah, h6 is key to get as early as possible, and then knight e7 castle, and we see our setup here. Knight here, knight f4, bishop g4, and we just get really good pressure. But I always avoid taking. I just don't like the position because my knight can't get into f4. This is a good position for me. There's nothing wrong with it, but it kind of ruins my easy plans with knight f4. Yeah, opponent did play well. I thought so too. The g6 is key here. Stopping the knight from activating. If I go here, then all of a sudden I have to be very careful of this knight. And, you know, if the knight gets here, I think it could be annoying. Okay, e4. Pre-move c3 always baits them into taking on the e5 square, and we'll just continue to gain some space with d5. Knight c3, keeping the option for f4 open here. Knight g4 would be an error already. So we kind of know what he wants to do. I almost think instead of f4, maybe I should have given this check first. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. This check and then maybe queen e2 there would have been nice. But to be honest, he would have brought the knight back, I think. Question for another day. As for this position, I suppose we just kind of lean into that pawn by playing this, bishop b3, castle. Yeah, I mean, b5's a little bit bothersome, but I'm going to let it happen. Okay, he's moving a lot of pieces that are not like getting castle, so something's got to give here. No way this can just be the answer. Bring rook to the e file. Like that can't be a mistake. Bishop here, I'm happy to play that one. Okay, just add some pressure there. This is one of those positions where I'm just gonna play this because, like, if I lose this pawn and something good doesn't happen, like, I'll just be shocked. This feels like too much good happening at once. I guess take. Could go bishop d4. I probably should have done bishop d4. I forgot that bishop takes. I had bishop takes f6, so that was my fault. But this was pretty much what we were going for. Let's go queen e4. Knight there doesn't work, and I think we'll have queen c6 here. E6 also doesn't work. Yeah, I think we might have been winning on that last move with bishop d4. Maybe not winning, but felt pretty good. Okay, just go here, which kind of looks a bit annoying. This should win material, I think. Get ready to take that. Happy to keep trading here. Just bring the king to the middle. That way we're controlling the d file, so we don't really mind handing it over. And we'll get another trade in here. Maybe rook c5. I probably have to play king e2, otherwise the rook will appear there. This is actually really nice. We get rook here and knight e5. Pretty much mate. That's probably one of the better moves, but give these checks, give that mate. The king will not be escaping. GG. I really need to think about this opening. He played very normally, not in a way that's unknown to me either. I did this, and I don't think I did anything wrong. Like, everything I'm doing makes a lot of sense. Honestly, like, the entire game was played pretty much perfectly by white. Wow. I played a lot better than I thought I did. This was the move that I think I should have done, just because I know that bishop d7, queen e2 is kind of a good thing to do. Yeah, no, we actually did a pretty good job. Bishop c4, this was all right. So I wonder if black did this. Yeah, I think it just involves getting the bishop to d4 and playing like this. And at this point, a6, I would play a4, I think. Yeah, I was, Alan. I think it would be good as well. All right, on to the next one. That was a good game. e4, e5. What else is new? All right, bishop there. I usually go knight e7 here. Looks very inviting to play knight g5. Now here I've made the mistake before by playing knight g6. It's too much. Knight g5 really hurts. So we do have to take this one. Knight takes, and I think just knight g6 now. Knight takes, obviously we'll take with the b pawn. But yeah, sticking to our approach here. e3. I mean, this is a threat, so let's make sure to recognize that. Let me just take everything here. Play d6. This doesn't really seem that bad. I mean, okay, that does seem that bad. What's the big idea? Also throw this check in. Okay. These knight moves, we're absolutely not out of the woods yet. Those knight moves really hurt. I want to play c6, but I'm losing my pawn. So, I guess bishop here. Knight here, we have to defend. Still very murky. Knight here, we take. Once this and this. And it also looks like he'll be relatively successful at it, but I think we can sneak this move in. Takes gets mated. So you kind of seemingly have to take. Yeah. Okay. I think we did a good job there. We kind of defended everything. F4 will take a step back. King G7. Knight F3 was also, Knight F3 I think was the better move, just because the knight was also attacked. But I thought this was pretty reasonable here. Let's take all this stuff. Let's go here because rook b8's a big threat. Okay, good game there. I don't even, does that say Chester? Chester J. Arthur. I thought it said cheater at first. It was quite intimidating. Italian with 97. Now, most people who play this don't really play d4 straight after. They go like knight g5, and we kind of play in a similar fashion. But it's nice. That we get to play this way. So I've been enjoying that. And then d4 here, we do have to take it. This is not good enough because knight g5. In general, knight g6 gets hurt by queen h5 and knight g5 moves. So we need to take. And then I've been playing knight g6 here to stick with the theme. And honestly, yeah, bishop b6 I was gonna do, but also taking seemed pretty alright here with d6 coming next. Yeah, I mean, this is a fine position, maybe not the best. And another move we can try here is bishop b6, which I also think is just fine. So that's how we'll handle that. Okay, we're into the reverse undefeated. Perfect. Remember, when you're playing the Scandinavian, this is our system. Just play A3. And then you're back playing an undefeated with the white pieces, plus the useful A3 move. Very nice. Can't complain, can't complain. And we have a pretty healthy advantage. Well, look at that. That was a very convincing game, and now I no longer have to worry about the Scandinavian. Like, it's just not an opening to me. I just play A3, and then all of a sudden I'm playing the reversed undefeated plus an extra A3 move. So, goodbye Scandinavian. Don't need to worry about that theory. Consider it all learned. I think a successful opening, for sure. Thanks for the sub, Hair Bear. Well, the sub and the follow. Welcome to the channel. It's on 3 minutes followers mode, so maybe we'll hear from him in a sec. Thank you very much. Welcome, welcome. All right, let's do it. We'll see what white does here. It goes straight for d4, so you guys may know by now that this is how we're gonna play against d4. Bishop there, good move. Our reaction is usually to move the queen here, almost always. And this knight can't move, remember, because the bishop is loose. So we can use that to our advantage. Like, for example, here, I'm gonna take on d4, knowing that if the knight takes, I don't just wanna take that, I wanna take this. We could take that. I don't really see any problem with it, but also, basically, why do I need to go for that? The way I see it, I'm up a clean pawn. I'm just going to go back into my normal setup. He's going to play knight here. We'll just play c6. And yeah, we'll try to put this knight on everything all the same here. Just put this knight on g6 and go for my same setup we were going to go for, plus an extra pawn. Not complaining. I'm going to do something funny here. I'm going to attack his rook. I'll play c3, and I'm going to go back. Now his knight's at risk of being trapped, which he might not know because of this move. Although, it kind of seems like he did. He played b4, so smart by him. I was setting a trap for him. Okay. All looks good here. Knight there. I'll just bring my bishop out. I'm still going for my exact same plans as usual, but white doesn't even have a dark squared bishop, and I'm up a pawn here, so it's just a really, really good version. We can go knight f4, but I think it's better to just take. All right, we're going to double our opponent's pawns here. Our knight always uses that brilliant f4 square, and we always want to make sure to play g6, so I'm preparing for that with the move knight f4. Yeah, this is really important. Knight f5's very bothersome. He goes knight here. Doesn't look like a very good move. We'll just kick it out. We wanted to put our pawns like this anyway. It's kind of the perfect pawn structure. Bring the king It's nice to have the king on a dark square instead of a light square. Just in the future, don't have to deal with those as much. Kind of like a5 here. b5 we can take and take, but it does give him the juicy d5 square, so I want to be a little bit mindful of that. I want to do this. Okay, he's going to trade the knight off. I actually don't mind doing it. I'll play a5. Still, his position doesn't seem that good. b5. Really want my king on e7 here. And if the rook moves up, I can consider taking. He has to take that way. Give that check. And I think what I'll do now is I'll just double my rooks. So let's go here. It's actually kind of a smart move. Wonder if I take how he's gonna take. Yeah, pretty well played by him. Maybe not that one, but otherwise well played. He would always be in trouble because just on the king side he's kind of stuck. But this was just a serious opening advantage for no reason, right? And it's just how tricky we are right here. Queen g6, we're utilizing that the knight's tied to the bishop, so the knight isn't really doing anything here. So he plays bishop d3 to guard the pawn, right? Very normal looking move. And then all of a sudden knight d4, and if you play knight e5, you just lose. If you take here, well, you're just behind. Okay, I'll give it a try out. Just for you. Founder privilege. Alright, let's go to the next game. That was a really good one though. We're almost at 15-50. We've been facing the Scotch a lot. We've been handling it well. Okay, e4. Yeah, back to e4, e5. And we'll play our... Well, we might get to plunge in here with an extra tempo. So of course I'm happy to go knight d5. It goes a5, but... Yeah, I mean, I just get c3 and d4 with tempo here. Interesting. I think we just go straight for it. Yeah, if knight f6, we do have bishop g5 available. Honestly, e5, everything looking tempting here. I don't want to go here, just to stop that. Yeah, I feel like taking that square is going to be really annoying for him to deal with. Yeah, he goes all the way back, that's not a good sign. Okay, obviously bishop out to a very nice looking square. Knight e7, Jesus, look. He's barely got any pieces developed here. I think we can go very aggressive here and just go after f7. Knight f6 actually threatens checkmate. But he has no way to defend it. He has no knight h6. Literally every single one of his pieces on move 11 is on their starting squares. His only achievements have been moving 2 pawns, and they're the worst pawns to have moved. so it's a pretty bad position. It's about as bad as it can get. Okay, queen f6, maybe in a bad position. We could make the argument that that might have been one of the better moves, but that's pretty much it. Let's take. I think let's just go right back. I'm not sure we need to go all the way. Maybe here. Knight f7 check is nasty. Almost the only way to deal with it is another king move. And queen h5 is coming. Okay, interesting move. Doesn't really stop this, but I don't want to lose that bishop, to be honest with you. So I am gonna go there. This is also kind of weakening, so I'm not sure if it actually helped Black's position. Long range bishop. Don't forget me. And then we still have knight f7 next. Because we took some time on that move, it made it look like we had a tough choice to make. But really, it was hanging his queen the entire time. By taking our piece, he hung his piece. I mean, the guy's only got a queen out on move 17. One of the most brutal openings you'll ever see. But against the two knights, you can't bring the bishop out and expect your opponent not to play knight d5. Like, remember, we're jumping in here when the knight goes to f6. So when the bishop comes out, not pinning us, easy knight d5. c3 is part of our system. Taking the center. a3 actually really, really liked. I think a3 low-key is the best move in this position. It's so annoying. Take that square away and Black's pieces have nowhere to go. And then bishop c4 castle. Black's just getting demolished here. Okay. e4, e5. Got knight c6 coming in, and let's see what he does. Bishop c4, so we'll go knight e7, and on c3 we will go knight g6, because there's no knight g5 happening. Now there is, so we need to take care of that with the move h6. And this pawn is defended. And that move we don't mind. Happy to go back. I know it sucks to go all the way back to the starting square, but trust me, it's not that bad. We get our bishop out. We get to play d6. If bishop e3, what would I play? Would I take? You guys should know the answer. h3, let's just continue to set things up the way that we want to. Queen f6. We can just jump in here. Hoping for g3. I think he'll play it. Smarter would be knight there, although I'm still not convinced that g3 is not happening. Not at all. Knight here does get my bishop, so I do want to stop that. a6 also looks good, but can't really decide. Queen g3, king h1. Not enough. I'm just a G3 merchant, just waiting for G3. Okay, he goes A4, now I'll absolutely play A5. I know it looks stupid giving him knight B5, but knight A6 is a move I want to do anyway. In this position, all over the dark squares. And he doesn't have a dark square bishop, so this is kind of perfect. Yeah, that's exactly what I want to see. Knight A6 is doing everything. And I'm now able to develop my knight without obstructing my bishop, like knight D7, for example, so I'm happy about that. G3, I'm just waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting. You know, he's obviously going to play it, it's just how long am I going to wait for it? Knight there. Well, I think we can play queen G3 now. It threatens bishop H3, and it also threatens this hanging bishop. I could take as well and then win a pawn, but I think it's actually better to do it this way. Actually, I take it back. Yeah, he does have queen F3, and I'm realizing that's the exact move he wants to play. So I think I do need to do it the other way if I want to do it at all. And I'm not actually sure that's going to be the best. Looks like my pieces are getting a little bit too offside over there. Like you can go like rook G1, queen G4. Yeah, instead I'm just gonna go like this. Still waiting for G3, which I swear is very likely. But we're getting the pieces developed really nicely here. It's so annoying for him not to be able to play this. Like, very frustrating. This is a good move by him. Like, taking is not bad, but I actually think I'm going to avoid the trade and go here, just to keep a little more life in the position. I like my bishops. I don't really want to trade them. Rook E8 next. And my knight can now join and actually make a threat. And still, I swear, G3 is happening. Just give it some time. Okay, so let's defend this. I told you from the start, it's a matter of time. The G3 is just, there's no way he wasn't gonna play it. Just had to give it a moment there. Let it simmer, let it breathe. In comes the knight, hopefully with devastating effect. Oh my god. It's almost like he expected that. I will give him a second lease on life here. Take. Hanging the whole queen was a little too much, my friend. He's a resourceful one. He's a squirmer. Very good game. This was probably about as good of a position as you could possibly hope for, especially from this opening. It went perfectly. First of all, we get our knight here. No knight G5. We play H6 immediately. This is so important. Do not allow knight G5 to happen to you like this. You're going to get killed. And then D5, you're super happy to see. It closes the diagonal, and you're happy to play knight B8 every time. And your goal is, please let me develop this bishop so I can play D6, and then queen F6 castle, and it's a great position. Now, if they stop you from developing bishop C5, okay, that's a bit annoying, I'm not gonna lie. But I would play D6 anyway, and just kind of continue the exact same way. It's not as good, because the bishop is so nice on that diagonal, but it's still a good position. Same ideas with bishop G4, knight F4. Knight G5 after knight E7. We've already had this in quite a few games. This is the same as if our knight was on F6. There's someone doing the fried liver, so we'll answer in the exact same way. Except the nice thing about our line is we don't have to play pawn takes. When the knight would be here, we can play knight takes. And then the knight is hanging, and a6 happens. I like this position a lot for black. So either they go for the fried liver, or you just have to be aware of it. Which is why when they play d4 here, they're threatening knight there. We don't have time to play h6, and we don't have time to play knight g6 because of knight g5, so we need to take this one. It's one of the few times where I'm actually going to be taking. You got to remember that. Okay, g3. We don't really have anything too special against that, so I'll play the beautiful looking e5. Oh. Okay. We can take this, but I'll retreat. Just play it a little bit slow with queen e7. I'll take. Take the queen here. Guess this. Like, this is so like tempting, but he doesn't have to take it. That's the thing. You just play knight f4 or something. Our position is quite suspect. I think we're gonna castle. Queen c2. Okay, once this. Now this definitely does not work. So I think we'll play the more normal looking move. Okay. In h6 though, that's mate. How does he actually defend this? Yeah, the problem is like, although this is mate, I mean there's nothing more satisfying than queen h1. Let's get real. Let's get real. I mean, he played very fast. He just played like a hippo system. What I like to do is I like to set up my pawns like this so that I'm ready to support an e4 push. Right here, I'm not fully ready because maybe he could play knight here and undermine it with d3. So I would say now I'm ready. And then I like to play h5. So it just means that in case I play like even if you played this, I would probably still be ready. It would be a little different. I would probably play queen e7. And what I mean is like I'm ready to play this because knight f3 stops it, but then I have e4. And I can kind of defend this. There's no queen trade, and I get to punch in h4. It's just h5, h4 is always strong against this, except when a knight can go there, so I want to be ready to kick it out. And if he plays knight e2, like the game, then it's like a free h5, h4. Especially with how quick he was playing, then I knew he would probably castle right into it. Okay. E4, D6. Don't really have anything too wild against this opening. I'm kind of expecting maybe this G6 knight F6 stuff. Okay, let's keep the bishop. It's a friendly move. Let's just save the bishop and just play chess from here. We know we have a good position. We know this move is coming, so we're just going to get out of the way. A4, A5 also looks really nice. I'll probably do that next. Bishop E3. I am looking at E5. Oh, wow. Okay, well, we'll steal this check first, no matter what. And at some point with Bishop E6, looks like it could do a lot of damage. Let's still continue with this. Castle. Even if he goes A6, we have our knight jumping into some squares. Yeah, definitely want to keep this. No, absolutely zero consideration about the D pawn here. Let's throw that in. G4 does win a knight here, but it feels like there may be something a little bit nicer than that lurking here. G4 is looking pretty good. Whoa. I don't think that really works. I think we should take this one first. If I go here, he may be smart enough to realize that's mate and play king e7. So let's take this first. Because now after bishop takes, he won't have that option. Yeah, I think we're good to just take it now. Because knight takes, then I don't have the sack anymore. So yeah, we gotta take it now. Bishop takes is just mate. He might take it because he thinks this is coming. To be honest, queen e6 also leads to mate in 2, but we'll put him out of his misery. GG. Again, not really an opening we have anything specific prepared for, but one thing I like to do is when people go for this setup, I really like to play bishop c4, queen e2, and someone can prevent that by going knight f6 first, because then I have to go knight c3. But what I'm talking about is a setup that does not involve knight c3 or delays it a lot. And it can be kind of nice. Like if they go here, knight there, you know, you can just kind of throw them off because they go like this and then you go e5, e6. It works really well. So I love this bishop c4, queen e2 setup. So I'm just kind of going for that here. And he happened to go like that. But he played bishop there. Had he played something different, like bishop here, castle, knight there, then again I would have played most likely e5, e6. Tends to work really well. Okay, e4. What's he got for us here? a6. Played quickly as well. Okay. I guess hard not to play this. I think we take like this. Have to play in the aggressive style. Didn't really take on e4, so there's not much of that to be had. Let's just do this. Might even run my king to the queen side here. Let's keep the idea with knight f2. It's just not as good here, but try. Okay, I'll play it more normally. B6. Bishop e3, I think. Seems like winning this pawn could land him in some trouble as well. He doesn't believe that, though. He does not believe so. Alright. So we could kind of go like this first. I don't know if that helps. I actually think it does. So maybe we can take first. No, let's go here first. And then we'll take, and then we'll take. Or actually, we could just take. Just because then the bishop on e7 will be undefended for later. So it means he can't castle right away. And I'm hoping that I'll be able to do something to take advantage. Now let's take, we got this pawn hanging. Might have to take this. We did a good job though. We really prevented the castling for quite a while. Maybe we can make this whole game about preventing castling because it takes, there's a6 hanging, but I'm going to play bishop f5. Bishop f5 here. And then h5. That's kind of annoying. Damn it. Yeah, it's really just not. It's not the move. Not even close, unfortunately. Black's gonna have to make a really strange knight move, so I'll take that as my miniature victory. He can't play this. He can't move the knight at all. So I think we just kind of walk the pawn home. We'll definitely see this move because it's the only move that makes a threat. And only move that seems remotely playable. But after bishop d2, I really don't see what he's going to do next. I guess knight c6. Okay, so he's preparing knight to c6, so let's prepare to prevent it. No e6, he'll probably go knight a5. We can take and take. Okay. Interesting. Not much happening over there. Do this, run the a-pawn as well. It's a rook. It's a rook for us. Maybe we can push the pawn to h5. That way we have this. And a nice pawn mate. Nice pawn mate, GG. So the Caro-Kann, we have an opening against this, but we didn't fully see it in action because he didn't really take, which is fine. I mean, we still got a fine opening here. But yeah, if he took, then we would really get to see knight f2, the brilliancy of knight f2. I've had people in this position literally play bishop g4 and just hang a piece. Okay, nice. Well, d4 we don't have to bother with. Knight f3 he played quickly. I mean, knight c6 tries to stay in the undefeated realm of openings, but I don't think we need to. Let's just do this. Oh wow, okay. Well, we're gonna get a great position here, I think. Stop bishop f4. And let's see, I know that he wants to bring this bishop out, so I'm not gonna play moves like knight f6, which just help him. So because I know that, I'm going to try to play against it. Yeah, see, he's like waiting and waiting, but I don't think he's going to be able to get that piece out the way he wants to. He wants to go here. It's not happening. Yeah, that's a concession right there. So you might want to go here and then do that. So let's get ready with queen c7. I'm not even playing the position anymore. I'm playing the man. Okay, he wants to go there. That's why we brought our knight here, to prevent exactly that. g4 is fine. We can just take a step back. If knight here, we're happy to kick it out with b6. And any f3 also drops that pawn. I think we can get ready to castle now. I also really like a5 and b6 as moves to gain some space and take some squares from the knights. Okay, so let's just bring the bishop back. Let's go here to start. All the way back. Let's just go here for now. Now, when the knight comes here, I'm going to go back to c8 and then play, I think, b6 next. Okay, so takes. We see his intention. At this point, I don't think we really mind. Let's start by taking, then I'll boot this knight out. Most important. Here. I think this actually just strengthens my center, so I wasn't too upset to see this. Okay, let's move this knight back. f4 looks great. Here, I thought I was just taking this. f4 looks very nice. Yeah, if he plays f3, we can just take it. So let's go with f4. Okay, looking good. Still don't need to do that. Let's start with this. I'm on a castle, of course. His knights just haven't been able to move like the entire game. Every single square is covered. A5, long castle. Yeah, it's a good move. I'll take, and I'll probably castle here. Just hide my king. Okay, well, I'll hide it here now. He still can't take, and I think it's time to start using my rook down here. It's this check, so maybe we should stop that with this, but I actually really think it's going to be a problem. Just let him have that. A lot of bishops for me to promote. And you wanted to play on, so did I. That was fun. More. Let's do it again. That's what you get for declining the England gambit. Come on. Gotta take on e5 at least. Now maybe he did it because he just played too quick, but nevertheless, a decline is a decline. C4. Okay, another unique move. Maybe let's go for more H5, H4 stuff. Whoa, rook D1. Okay, so it does have this. I'm gonna do this and try to... Honestly, maybe we could just go for it. Yeah, you might play H4 here. Because H4 looks annoying, so I don't know. It goes here. I think I'm basically happy to trade this knight off. Bishop G5 is a common mistake. Because yeah, once the knight's gone from F3, then H4 is really easy to achieve. Knight D5, C6 is nice and easy. The knight literally has to go back where it came from. And then I like starting with Queen F6. Knight A4, we can bring the bishop back. A3, so yeah, B4 is the clear intention. Hopefully we can make a threat before then. Because I still am not at the point where I'm actually making a threat. I'm getting close though. Okay, wow. Smart player to actually be aware enough to shut the bishop down. Okay, I will be equally aware and reopen it though. F3, I don't think you can play. Okay, queen A4. So my opponent's all in on that side of the board, which means there's my checkmate. That's all I'm thinking. There we go. Yes, a nice checkmate attack. That's usually what I like to do in ICC4. The fianchetto, you can usually pry open with the H-pawn. But I wasn't in too much of a rush. Pretty slow, like kick the knight out, slow, queen. Literally just the slowest possible approach to the attack. But then this was too much. Yeah, knight e2, and this move was forced, but you'd lose so much material here. Got a nice rook sacrifice in for you as well, Enzo. As requested. Yeah, that was a KO, I'm not gonna lie. But let's hold it. Hold it for 1600. E4, and hey, here we go. This is the... Oh! I was gonna say this is the French, but he didn't even play it. Oh well. Guess we're going back into this. Let's play this, because if he plays d6, we'll get back into our system there. E5, wow. A4, B4, C4. This looks like he might lose a piece. Okay, yeah, you can't go there. A bit strange. Okay, I'll just go here. Knight d4 definitely looks like it's possible, but a bit too much. Let's just cover knight b3. Castle. b3. Let's go knight here. b3 is really annoying. That pawn will have to defend the entire game. Okay, I think we can play rook b1. Rook b1, knight e4, bishop f4. I'll be happy then. good thing there's no pins or anything. Okay, he does go back. Makes sense. I might need to put the bishop here now. Don't really want to let him occupy the d4 square, so yeah, we'll go bishop b2. Initially wanted it on f4, but can't get everything we want. He goes g5. That seems a little bit forced. Let's take this way, and I'll probably go g4. We'll see what happens here. Remember, knight e4 is about to like be the best looking knight you've ever seen. Yeah, I think it is. I think we can kind of ignore h3. Not that bothersome. So I wonder what happens next. Probably he should long castle. If he doesn't, with knight a5. It's not a bad move. I think I'm gonna go here. Put this bishop there. That way I guard my pawn. You can try h2 and queen takes, but we have f4. We have a lot of answers to that. Once the bishop is here, I'm feeling pretty secure now. Because now we're even stopping h2. h2 was the only like kind of annoying move, but now that we're fully preventing it, I think our position looks quite good. Hit the pawn and also defend our bishop, which is going to be really helpful, so it's not in a pin here. We can take, but we can take c5 seems to be pretty good. Take this one. Remember, this is just a free, not only a free piece, but also queen takes queen next. Make sure we don't find a funny stalemate here. Here we go. It's a mate there. Flip a pawn. I thought he played a pretty spicy game, honestly. A lot of good like attacking motifs. Like g5 is, believe me, not insane. Like I went to handle it this way. Thought I did a reasonable job, but he should have probably played h3 or knight d4 here. It was definitely a fun try by him. The opening was a different story. Like, he played the French, I played c3, and he just didn't play d5, which is very weird for a French player. Especially because d5 is like absolutely one of the best moves. We pre-moved this, but he didn't play d5. So we didn't even get a chance to test out our opening against the French as well. But that's okay. We've had a lot of success with it. We got to see a few other openings from 1500 to 1600. Now we can release the KOs. It's good, is it, Tim? Do you know anyone stronger by any chance? Have you been missing Eric streams, or has Aman been streaming more? Both, probably. Both. But Eric's on a trip with Aryan to the Cayman Islands right now. Playing a chess tournament. that's where the lad's been. But that's only for the last couple days. Yep. Systematic trails behind the pillars of the community. Dr. Lord Mayonnaise and Tim Cannon. You know, I just thought of something interesting. What if we continued the speedrun series? Shock. In fact, why don't we just play 2 more games? Maybe just 2 more. For no particular reason. Hello, Eddie. I don't think we have Champ here, otherwise I owe Champ some marbles races from yesterday. Hello, young Sam. Well, unfortunately, our opponent didn't really play. Like, he played the French, but he didn't play d5, which is rather unusual. But that's okay. I had hopes that we were going to get to see it as our final game in the 15 to 1600 bracket. So what you're saying, Wild Hacks, is you're an advocate for continuing the speedrun, naturally. We can only interpret those messages in one way. As long as there's a French game or two in there. How would you like me to proceed, given that information? Should I contact people in advance and only have French players join the pool? Hello to Long Neck Beeson. Hey, he's got his Wild Quacks emotes out. You have a girthy comment ready to go for the vid. So it's planned for first thing tomorrow, DLM. Jeff is preparing it tonight. So that's my intel. That's the latest. It's a first thing tomorrow release. Eddie the Matchmaker. I actually already did that moves. Did it in a Title Tuesday with some good success. Yeah, but Tim, Tim hasn't taken many W's recently, but that's one of them for 1600. Gotta hand it to Tim there. Tim, I believe, has lost 2 factor bets. Wow, it's good to have chessbrah 1v1 match pundit Realty Money here to weigh in. Has Realty Money and Skip Bayless. Two similar guys. Just weighing in with rather hot takes and no real comeuppance if proven wrong. Reminds me of Valentinian a little bit. Valentinian will be watching a hockey game and say something like 4-2 final score. Guaranteed. And then the game will end 6-3 and no one will say anything. And then 8 years later, when Val's been saying that every night and been wrong all the time, he'll get one right. Risk versus reward. Hello, Eric. Any words of encouragement for Aryan? Is Aryan in need of words of encouragement? The guy's on a beautiful trip to the Cayman Islands, spending time with high energy hosts and friends, winning 5K, putting Norway's temporary number 2 in the dirt, and in need of encouragement? I'm confused. I don't take these nasty, sweaty chess.com online play-in events. I don't take them seriously. I don't put them in the same category as what Aryan's accomplished in the last week. As far as I can see, the lad has no reason to be down. That's what I'm saying, Tim. Aryan's going to be hard on himself because of his rapid result. But I have a very low opinion of that particular event. So sweaty. I mean, guys like Grishuk didn't qualify. Like, Aryan's in very good company with people who did not qualify from today's event. There's a lot of strong names there. Yeah, Bortnick beat Aryan and didn't make it. I'm just saying, like, you're definitely in fine company there. Enjoy the Cayman Islands. I would definitely not be sitting there thinking about my rapid chess results when I got the Cayman Islands in front of me, you know? That's fair, Tim. That's fair. Dr. Lord, there's no reasoning with guys like Sam. He's expecting you to just reach up and grab a clear advantage for white and hand it to him in 5 moves. There's no reasoning with people like that. Sam checks into one stream in the last month and it's like, what did I miss? Give me the files. A weapon against the French? Okay, yeah, just hand it over. Where is it? Advantage, right? Okay, it's winning. So we refuted it. Where's my fucking file? DLM. File. Right now. Right away. Right away, Wild Hacks. Get that right to you. DLM, where's the advantage? Real T, get that printed stat. Tough these days. Wild Hacks is like the fucking Peruvian cartel showing up for his weekly collection. He really doesn't, DLM. You know, it's sad to see. Sad to see the lack of appreciation for something that so much work was put into. Something that has, you know, worked so handily on chess.com. It is Eddie. He's not more than a product of his environment. Oi. Now 5. Just followed the channel. Hello. Now 5. The camera coverage, I think, is generally well received. People love a camera. I've heard good things about Aiden and Dave, Eddie. I have. You're not the first. In fact, we've heard so much good feedback from them that I think we may just need to have them run the full show. It seems that Aryan's chess is more easily understood by the 1100 rating range on chess.com. You were surprised? Maybe you haven't seen Aiden before. He's done a little bit of that type of work, but that's good to hear, Eddie. Dave is just he's an easygoing guy. Doesn't have an ego about chess, happy to be wrong, happy to ask the questions, and, you know, just a solid host. Low Mimic. Yep, I think we can put another 100 points together for guys like Eddie. Eddie, would you be interested in some marbles in, you know, about an hour and a half? We need to continue the series first. Yeah, we would have done some OTV coverage, maybe Jeff at the military championships, Canadian Forces. Is Tim continuing to ascend? All right, I'm gonna grab a refill. We go for 100 more points till 1700, and then I may have to give the good folk here some marbles. I may, you know, especially with Chess TV here. The pressure is really on. Wow, hello, Dark Bone. Great to see you, sir. We're gonna continue this speed run. I'll just be back in a few minutes. And we got guys like Eddie here, so might be some evening marbles. That's the plan. I'm going to do another 100 points. Then I'm going to have a factor meal. Tell you guys about the beauty that is factor. And then some marbles. I'll see you guys in just a sec.
I know everyone hurts differently. As a shadow washes over me, I just don't want to leave. I know anyone can slip away. It doesn't always
Okay.
have to be this way.
We're back and ready to continue.
It isn't you that I've been running from.
1605 here.
Still be there when I come back home. Come back home.
Let's see if we can get another 100 points so we can eat to earn a factor. Earn a factor for myself and hopefully earn a factor from someone else. All right, here we go. D3. Oh yeah, I've really been workshopping some stuff against D3, folks. Been in the lab. Might go bishop c4. Just there. Actually, it's kind of a weird move, but I like controlling the d3 square. Here, h3. I guess we can just throw this knight in. c5 is really what we want to be achieving. Knight takes, we can take with the queen. It's actually a bit better. Making two threats at once. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. There's no way this ends well. There's no way this ends well. Go for this, so get the knight to move, and then my queen will be able to use one of these squares to reach h6. This one's a bit better because it hits the knight on the way. Knight f2 is checkmate as well. Bishop g1 is checkmate. Bishop anywhere is checkmate. It's all checkmate. But, I mean, just obviously a very bad position. You know, respect to this move, at least make a checkmate in one threat. Right? You're gonna get mated yourself, at least do this, so you never know, a mouse slip something. I feel like here even mouse slipping would still result in the same outcome. Bishop here, literally bishop to any square would perform the same checkmate, but I'll take a smothered mate. Good game. Nice start there, but move d3 that white played in the opening, I mean, truthfully, there wasn't much. Not much in terms of an opening there. Okay, e4, b6. This will just play e4, bishop d3. Okay, e6. Knight e7 tells me my opponent may want to do that. Okay, he seems to be pre-moving, so let's play h4. So he doesn't have time to play h6. He's attacking that. We could just defend with c3 as well. But I think h6 here is really good. He might be interested in knight d4, but bishop f6 and knight g5 is about to win the game, to be quite honest. Really nasty. You get the rook to move and then take this pawn, take this bishop, and just make a queen. That's pretty much it. e5. I can honestly take this with the bishop and play knight f6. We can take here and play, as I said, h7. I feel like it all wins. This might actually be one of the best moves. It's funny to take with the knight, actually. It's almost like here, knight takes. It's like, I'm not winning enough material. I deserve more. So I think I can actually do better than that. Yeah, so let's take, and black's probably gonna castle. We'll go here. And we'll take this, and then in a funny turn of events, we'll actually make a queen on h8 there. Wow. Did not expect that. f5. Maybe he didn't realize it was hanging there. Either way, I'll take that. I think we want to take this. Although at this point, we're up a rook, so I feel like everything's good. Yeah, let's push the h-pawn to just threaten to queen. It'll force the rook to go there. We can take here. Obviously, a queen trade really favors me. Knight c3 and castle next. This looks good, but this one might be a little bit better. Yeah, but that was a very one-sided game. A lot of people are just kind of playing this g6, b6 system, but you probably notice every time it happens, I just play h4, h5, or h5, h4, and I win really, really quickly. Because the whole point of the system is you can't just pre-move everything. You have to play h6 when I play h4. So that h5 is met by g5. If you don't, like, you're basically in a terrible position early on. And here, I don't know, like, it just gets really bad really fast. Okay, e4. What opening? What's it gonna be? Got our Caro-Kann, bishop to f5. Honestly, we can play knight g3, but I'm gonna stick with our knight f2 move. I just like it. It's the essence of the position. I'll hold off on g4. g4 looks tempting, but I'll hold off on it. Usually the idea is actually knight h4. Goes here, that's probably a good sign for us, because we really like the knight on d3 is basically perfect in this opening. Most people just are not used to a knight on f2, and so they're not used to a knight on d3. Like, what happens here is my pieces go to very unorthodox squares. And people just don't know how to handle it that well. We can take, but I think that actually is what he wants. I'm just going to castle.
If you talk all the time,
Yeah, this is nice.
you'll never hear what anybody else has to say.
Okay, we just want to make sure to contain moves like c5 and e5. And if we're able to do that, then my opponent's not going to have any play. Knight d5 looks very tempting. But he goes knight e4, interesting. Okay, I'm just gonna go here, I think. Okay, let's move this bishop. Go to c1 or g1. g1 is nicer because it kind of helps prevent c5. But this one might be nicer just for the future of the position. So I am going to go this way. Why move the king? Well, I wanted to have the g1 square available in case knight g4 happened. But I also know that if black gets any play, it's going to be c5, and so this diagonal is going to open. So I'm kind of playing against that a little bit.
The world of color is infinite.
Let's go g4. His knights are really strange here. If he takes, we win the knight, and I'm threatening g5 to win the knight. I just think his pieces are placed a little bit funny, so because you can't really like treat this like an outpost without a pawn supporting it. And I want to do it quickly before he gets, for example, c5. But yeah, queen g2, g5. It goes here. I don't think it really does anything to prevent the issue. Like, he's losing his piece. The knights don't operate very well together here. This knight has been the unsung hero of the game. It's just been covering so many key squares, including even the f2 square in this position. It's just a really strong piece. Yeah, and our bishop is going to destroy him here. We can take this as well. With knight g4. Yeah, obviously we could win the queen there. I think this is even more powerful. Pretty nice attack there, but I always like this It's really, really strong. Very nice position to play. Knight on d3 behind this pawn structure I always really like, because the way to kind of play the position with black against this pawn structure is usually to play e5 or c5, and the knight directly prevents those things. Yeah, so this was a bit too much. g4 and g5 I think is a very correct and very active idea here. But as I said, you just can't treat this like some unassailable outpost when you don't have a pawn defending. If you had a pawn on f5, different story, but these knights don't work that well together. They basically both end up frozen. Okay, seeing a little bit more c4. I usually just go for this like bishop c5 setup, a6, and tuck it away. A lot of people play knight e2 and d4, and first thing that I like to do is just bring the bishop back. Goes for h3. Definitely playing against h5, h4. Let's do it anyway. So the nice thing is if he goes there, we can play f5, and I mean, he's castled. If he wasn't castled, I wouldn't feel so good doing this, but takes, and then queen d7 after. Like, I'm just kind of all over the kingside right away. f3. So one look at that move, and I think you'll know that's not really what white wants to be doing. That's for sure. Let's just develop. d4. Hey, such a weird game so far. I'll play the strange looking f4. Looks like it might mix things up a bit for him. Wow, okay, played a good move, good response. Thought he would get a bit more confused there. Let's take this. Don't think I can afford to really let knight f4 happen, so. Still, a really bad bishop on g2 here. Some good pressure. Here, we'll get that response. Trying to think what his next move wants to be. I'm actually gonna play a strange move. I'm either gonna play this or this. I want to stop knight d5. Looks like he might want to do it. This is nice because it's kind of with tempo. Get castled, knight to g5 perhaps. Knight f7 also guards this pawn. And it looks like he's in a pretty permanent pin. Tough to get out of. Knight c6 may have been a bit better because there are some big threats with knight b4. He goes knight there. I feel like it's not a great move. Remember, you still can't take. f3 looks like a super good move. Also, taking and castling will win material now. Yeah, I mean, this bishop is just causing him such a headache. Go here, and I think I'm going to take this. If he takes and I castle, he can save himself by just moving the king. If I took, bishop takes, the king always had e2. I didn't see a way I could win material there, so we're just going here. The bishop has to do something, and we're gonna grab that pawn. It goes here. I don't think it's gonna stop me from doing this. Guard that. I want to play c6 to kick the knight out. Knight e7. If we can stop knight e7, like, I'll be pretty happy. Okay, definitely throw a check in because the king's tied to that bishop. Okay, let's take. Go there. Just push. Taking bishop f3 will be honestly pretty tough to stop. I would say some sort of check would be the best attempt here. We have a queen waiting to be made here. Basically put him in stalemate and just wanted to run the king over and mate him with rook g6. English. Yeah, okay, we didn't really prepare anything too much against it. But you probably noticed every time I face the English, I just go for bishop c5, d6, tuck the bishop, and then h5, h4. Because almost everyone that does it plays it with g3, so almost always play just h5, h4, and pretty easy. Pretty easy. We have a group lesson program there, Chafex. Wonder what it is. Exclamation mark. Question mark. Exclamation mark. In. Yeah. Exclamation mark. Gym. So yeah, don't do any coaching outside of that, but there are quite a few people in the chessbrah community that are in our gym program, and yeah, you can click the link there to see a bit more, but for a pretty reasonable price, you get 4 classes a month with myself, Eric. Aryan's even been doing some guest classes while he's been here. So it's like 4 classes a month. Pretty good value if you're looking for something to keep you more focused on chess. PJ, this speedrun is all about new openings that we came up with ourselves, pretty much invented on stream. They haven't really been seen before. I think they're really unique, new, and they work really well. So I hope they work for you too. All right, let's jump into the next one. E4, quickly played. Okay, we do see the Scotch. D5, happy to go back. C4, I'm just going to remove the bishop G5 possibility, and I want to make sure to get this bishop out to either C5 or B4. Will he do this? No, he actually goes right with knight B5. Kind of smart by him. Let's defend. Very important. Bishop here isn't really a great move, but he might do it. Yeah. So, I mean, taking is actually nice for me, but I think I'm going to go here, mainly because I Don't really like the... Like, it's just easier to play the position when you have the f4 square available. That's what I think. Okay, so here. He's obviously gonna be interested in getting rid of our pieces there. We're gonna have to play this move anyway, I think. Let's just go ahead and take. Castle, knight here. I'll start with knight here just to clamp down on the f4 square a little bit. G3, then we get a nice square for our bishop. And we're just kind of living off this knight defending c7. So he plays a good move. It looks like he wants to go there, but let's castle. And if he wants to force things through, he can, but we'll try to get some counterplay with knight f4. Start by taking this way. We definitely want to eliminate the dark square bishop. That's pretty good for us. Yeah, and let's just play c6. So knight c7 doesn't really bother us at all anymore. We want to save our pawn, and look, if we lose it in the future, that's fine, but I don't want him to have a protected pass pawn, and knight f4 and queen g5 is about to win the game. Don't forget about that. Knight f4 looks like it does nothing, but it's threatening to win the entire game with this move. Because then we're threatening checkmate, and we're threatening knight h3, winning the queen. It's a tactic that will always work, no matter how hard you think about it. And it's weird the way it works. You sit there and you're like, no, there's no way I'm dead lost. Like, surely I can defend these two things at once, and you never can. It's the way she goes. Go here, rook takes. Start with this. And then rook g1, we have queen f2, hitting the rook and hitting f3. Pretty good by him to notice that. Good game. He actually played in a pretty nice way, like very direct, like came up with a plan, wanted to push through. But after c6, the thing is knight f4 and queen g5, don't underestimate the counterplay that literally just two pieces can have against the whole kingside. The bishop's about to come out, the knight, and this is why I never take on e3. Like, it would have been the best move to take on e3 here, no doubt about it, best move by far. But I really think the ability to play that knight to f4 is so handy, and you always get value out of knight f4. Hello, Carvalma. Hey, great to hear, Chafex. 3-month course purchase. There's literally a class this Friday, so I will see you in that one. You should have everything you need though to get set up for that, but you can always reach out if any problems. We'll see you on Friday then. And remember, even if you can't make it for class, they're all recorded, so you can catch up anytime. Plus, you'll be able to look at previous classes. So we'll see you there, man. It'll be a good place for you to start, see if you like it. There's a good community of people that are all looking to improve as well, so hopefully access to that will help you out as well. All right, e4. Okay, we've seen this. So against this, I go knight e7 and then knight G6, and on D4, I'll be playing H6 so that we're not running into knight G5. Knight G5 kills us. And we want to take back on E5. Okay, this move tells me that queen to B3 is coming. Now, I'd love to get my bishop developed, but it's just not happening. So I'm going to go ahead and play D6. Pretty sure this move is going to happen. Regardless, let's just get our normal setup here. The nice thing about C3, even though it comes with some other dangerous ideas, is the knight can no longer go there. The knight coming to D5 is super annoying. Bishop E3. I think bishop E7 is fine here. Notice how I'm keeping my queen safe with this H6 move, otherwise it would be lost. We want a castle, and D5, we're very, very happy to see D5. With B5 here, we might be able to do that. I think we're just going to castle. D5 is great. You've seen me deal with this move before. I always play knight back to B8. Bishop B5. I don't really know what he's up to exactly here. I'm probably just going to slide this knight in. It's nice. Knight D2. Very close to just being able to do this. We need a little bit more preparation though. Yeah, it's so close. Like, this is just checkmate, but if the opponent's playing well, then they'll take here. So let's just develop. If white's ready to play that, then I'm ready to be impressed. That's a good high quality move. I'm going here because I want to recycle my knight. Knight there. And remember, if the queen ever moves like this, there's always a great tactic to be had, and that is knight takes h3. A very neat idea. This bishop takes h3 is available, and the nice thing is bishop e2 could be met by knight h4. I think we do want to play knight h4 here. Just bring our queen back. I think he might play knight h5 here. This would be a decent move. Yeah, I had a feeling he was going to do this. It's still quite unclear. I mean, I'm going to lose my queen as well, right? Oh, wow, that's a crazy resignation. I mean, I agree, black's better, but that's still a crazy resignation. At least see what I'm up to. Because you just attacked the queen, right? Okay, we'll take that, we'll take that. 1650. Geez, there's some big words in chat. Let me catch up. Just beat Zoom Kerchu in a match at Realty Mike. You left as soon as you got one more win. Oh man, that's classic. That's classic. I'm sure that's exactly what happened. Let's check the files here. Uh-huh. It was a best of 5. Okay. No, this is some real loser energy from Wild Hacks. I can see the match history now. Wild Hacks lost 2 games in a row. And and at that point Zoom could have just been like, best of 3. Okay, it was best of 3. I'm done. But Wild Hacks waited, played 3 more games, and then says, it was a best of 5. Better player won. Oh, yeah. Oh, I hear you, Zoom. Yeah, very punchable offense. I hear you, man. Oh, the rage is just flowing through. Just at a boiling point. Best of 5. Wild Hacks, best of 5. Like, they've agreed on this for months. Oh, some great stuff. Great stuff from heel Wild Hacks. God, I hate that. You're playing someone on chess.com, you're like winning the match. The second they get one more point than you, gone. Yeah, Wild Hacks wasn't bragging in chat when he was down 2-0. He didn't have to go to the gym when he was down 2-0. Some funny stuff. Yes, slimeball hacks. GG's need to gym. I used to do this when I was a kid. Get one up on someone. GG's dinner. Gotta finish homework. And just watch the rage. Watch what I've cooked up. Sorry, Zoom. We don't have time for a match right now. Wild Hacks has to go to the gym. And Wild Hacks knew what he was doing. He came in chat and he rallied all his boys. Echo chamber, brah. Hey, Real T, Eddie, check this out. 3-2. Best of 5. Won the best of 5 against Zoom. Come on, guys, check it out. Yeah, you're great, Hacks. Yeah, you're so fucking good. Fuck, you're 3-2 against Zoom. But Zoom's so strong. Wow, I bet you gotta go to the gym now too. Yeah. Yeah, he does. He's buff and strong at chess. Zoom, meanwhile, is like rage queuing, tilt losing to other people, shirts off, keyboard activated. I've been there, Zoom. I know the true pain of dealing with a real, like, professional keyboard warrior like Wildhack. And we all know that it's not entertaining for Wildhacks to actually go to the gym because he knows Zoom is so fuming mad right now. So we all know Hacks will be here for minimum next 15 minutes, just observing Zoom in the chat. Even if there was a gym that he had to go to, he would certainly delay it minimum 15 minutes just to soak it all in. Well, very nice. That was a great little intermission. $16.50, let's continue. Feeling energized. Okay, E4. What's it gonna be? What opening you got for us? No opening? Okay, but he ain't here. Very strong 1e4 key. I tell you, e4 is pretty strong. e4 is pretty strong.
I'm the place you picked to hide. I'm the thing you left inside. I'm the time you never tried and you lied. And I'm the one never sleep through the night. Just let you out and I'll leave you with a lie.
Bishop f5. Usually they don't do to this. And I think this is still fine. But I'm gonna play knight f3. Okay, queen there, but 3-3 is kind of what we want to do anyway, I think. What I might do is... So this is an interesting move. I'll hit the bishop. Bishop here, I have that. Very close to winning the bishop here. In a line like that. Takes, queen check, king f8. I have to castle. I lose his pawn. I don't think that's worth it, actually. You'd think it is, but... No. Don't believe so. Go here. Probably he's gonna long castle. Yeah. Makes a bit more sense. I'm gonna have to do this. Okay. Unclear to me what's happening. I guess this one. Rook e8, we can try queen d3 maybe. At some point I want to get this a5 move in. If I see h4, I think he has to answer that right away. Probably he's going to play a6. But a5, yeah, I feel like we can really pry the position open. Oh, I like that knight on f2. Isn't it great? Successful Caro-Kann. Okay, got our Pegasus plunge open. Knight into d5. How's he gonna handle it? He decides to take. Very smart. Not many people take because they assume something's wrong with it, but I don't blame someone for being curious. It's a center pawn, and he can take and literally just go right back, so why wouldn't you? Okay, knight there. e4 looks nice here. Guards everything, and these pawn moves are impossible. Or so I thought. I think he's gonna go here, and so we'll play the very, very annoying bishop e3. Oh, he decides to go there. All right. Maybe he could castle for us. He has to take that, and we are up a piece the entire time. Rook here, we can just castle to safety. Always happy to trade there. So this one, King moves over. King moves over. He kind of escapes. Let's play this rook e1 move. I think it just sets up a checkmate, basically. Bishop a6 will be an unpleasant thing to deal with. Let's take back. We've still got our back rank covered. Check. I think we'll see the king slide over, but okay. Safety move. H3. Hello, I'm new. Sorry, bud. Sorry, bud. He's new. Well, we got a very successful d4 knight f6. Yeah, we take here. And then takes is just comfortable for us. Comfortable. Maybe not winning, maybe not much better, but very comfortable. More space. And he'll definitely be unfamiliar with the opening. Okay, well, the Scandinavian is not a real opening. It's just the undefeated. It's just a free win. We've refuted the entire Scandinavian. Get it out of here, I'm telling you. It doesn't exist anymore. Never again will I be concerned about the Scandinavian. Just A3 and it's the undefeated. Look, it's the same opening. Alright. He goes here, he didn't even take it. Let's grab it. Wow. Here, I don't think quite does it. We can do this. Okay, so let me get this straight. I'm up a pawn, and my position looks great. These are the important squares to control. Okay. Bishop d5, c6. Otherwise, I think we want to play a5 just to keep our knight there. Moves here, which is kind of interesting. After h6, I'm a little concerned for him. Bishop h7. And knight f7, I think he'll try. Bishop h7, I have king f8, and this one we have bishop e6. I also could have taken the bishop on e4 there. Nice square on e5 for us. Not too bad. Not too bad at all. some quick wins. People are making some strange decisions, like in this opening. Okay, I get it that after taking, kind of made a mistake, maybe pre-move, but still, just take it back. Not the end of the world. Because here, it just kind of feeds me all the trades. This position is overwhelming. There's just like a full extra pawn. Pawn structure doesn't even look very good. I'll take it. 1686. All right. Here comes the beautiful variation, the Pegasus plunge. Bishop there makes a lot of sense. This is the point when they play bishop c5, is to try to take advantage of this. Bishop d3 here. I mean, honestly, e5 looks pretty good, but maybe he could respond with h6 or something. Because I can't just go and take here. Yeah, somehow e5 actually feels a little bit wrong here. Okay, now I definitely don't mind playing king f1. Previously I was going to respond with knight there. King f1 looks perfect though.
There's a canyon of thoughts.
Because there's still issues here.
Though in so many ways, you and I are just the same. There's a mountain.
Okay, so now the thing is, there's no pin, so I can just go back to this plan. Honestly, it's a shame that he gets so much material for it, but... Oh, okay. H6, no way. I mean, all the captures work, but this one looks particularly good. Basically, all I need is a piece over here. As soon as it gets there, it'll be GG. This leads to mate. So does this one. I feel like it's all pretty reliable. So just take that. Good game. That was our opening, basically working as well as it possibly could. But honestly, a really natural move, bishop c5. But it's the point of the opening is that the most natural move, bishop c5, in my opinion, the most natural, runs into a nice c3 move. And then d4 with tempo, and just like kind of flows. Yeah, and once bishop a5, king f1 happened, I knew we were good because now there's no pin, so all the threats are happening. Really nice. Hey, Lethbridge Chess. Do you mind lending a hand to, or maybe you could speak to him. Chaffex just signed up to our gym program. I think for 3 months. He's trying to get Discord installed or whatever problems you might be having. Because I know we have a class this Friday. I want to make sure he's in for that. But Discord is it's an easy, should be an easy download. But if you're not the best with computers, then I think Eddie can attest that it's it ain't the easiest to work with. You just message us on Discord. We got you, man. Just a simple Discord message and we'll be right with you. You think you got it? Alright, let me know when you're in there. Because when you actually join the right server, then we'll be able to see that on our end as well. Yeah, so I might have the wrong guy. Couldn't be talking about you, the Endgame Magician. I think I have the wrong guy now that you mention it. Alright, let's go for another. E4, E5. That's our opening. Bishop C4, knight E7. And knight G6? No. Remember, when knight G5 is threatened, it doesn't count here. Because, obviously, knight G5 there, we just play as if it's the normal fried liver. But here, we need to play H6. Really crucial to stop that. Remember, we don't really care about this bishop. We just want it outside the pawn chain. And on bishop e3, we do not take it. We don't want that. So here, this is a great example. I just go back. I'm super happy to take this. There's no knight d5, which means I get my setup of queen f6 and knight f4, etc., etc. Okay, knight h2 is actually a little bit of an interesting move. I'm going to play queen h4. If he goes back, we'll go here. I'm not sure. Maybe he wanted queen h5. Maybe he wanted f4. This move stops both. Okay, I think our opponent might lose a queen here. Oh, it does not. Great restraint. After queen f3, b5 would have been the real nasty move to throw in. Yeah, takes to play knight h4. Unfortunately, there's queen g4. It doesn't really work. And if we ever give away these bishops, there is queen g4. I still think this is a useful move. Take this way. I like this pawn here. Rook a4 could be an idea. Definitely king h7. I don't really understand that. Guess the queen's going back to e2 pretty much by force. Maybe we can continue to get our pieces in. Here we do have knight c4. Taking looks like the move. I think f3 and queen takes h3 will be difficult to meet. Go queen here, that might make it a little bit easier. Because here we have knight takes f3. I was going to take on h3, which probably would have resulted in the same thing. e5, c4, rook over. Yeah, just stopping that move. And if the actually gonna go here. If pawn takes, then I think I can use the A file. This pawn's also defended, which is nice. Be able to win this bishop now with nice checkmate in the nick of time. So very important when we're playing our openings here. Italian, always knight e7. Like our openings are either queen f6 or knight e7 when it's e4 e5. So it's kind of easy to remember. Now, of course, they can go knight g5 right away, but then it's the same as if we're playing a regular fried liver, which means we don't take back. Terrible move. We should all know this standard trick. But instead we play knight a5, the same way we would if the knight was on f6. The only difference is that in this line, after c6, we can take with this knight, and we hit this knight. I like it a little bit better. We don't have to ruin our pawn structure. Anything past this initial knight move, we probably have to play h6 next. The only time I don't play h6 next is if they don't move the d-pawn. So if they castle, for example, I'll play knight g6 because the knight's covered. There's no knight g5. But my very next, as soon as I see the d-pawn move, immediate h6. The only exception to that is d4, because then there's a threat to my pawn here, and there's knight g5 as a threat. So in this case, I do need to take. And if knight g5 now, I have knight e5. Other than that, in d3, for example, threatening that, h6. Knight here. Okay, there's no bishop covering that square, so I can do this, because that's just a free knight. And then as soon as any move that threatens knight g5, h6. Even if it's d4, because now my knight's on g6, so the pawn's defended. That's really it. Tends to work out pretty well. For $16.99, I can't edge you guys this much. Alright, let's go for hopefully our last game here. Maybe we can draw. Nice 1700 on the dot. e4, e5. Okay, knight c6. Bishop b5, we go with queen f6. Castles. Time for bishop c5. We want knight e7. We want, so threatening that. We definitely need knight e7 here. Okay. Remember, that's not a pin. This is the, okay. just gonna win a piece here and win the game really easily. Look at that. Even just putting our queen on f6 was like getting our opponent going all crazy. All of a sudden he wanted to play bishop g5 as fast as lightning. He just lost the game. Knight d5. Happy to take. We just have a full extra piece here, so should be pretty routine. E4 is a pretty big threat. Otherwise, just simple development, bring the rook over. Let's just go a5. I know it's hanging, but like, look, he's threatening to trade pieces with me. Don't think I'm that concerned. Defend this. GG. Well, we don't get as many reload as we do Italians, but I could go for the same knight e7 idea here, but we named this one the Hambleton defense. Unnamed, queen f6, so it's ours. And the thing with this one, though, that's a little bit different is if knight c3, we have to start immediately with bishop d6 and then knight ge7. Bishop d6, a bit of a weird move, but the queen gets out to g6 pretty nicely. Bishop g5. I see this a lot. People like play this because they're like, oh, I'm attacking the queen. You have to react and move your queen, which wouldn't even be a problem here. But instead, they blunder the classic remove the defender, but also with check. Nice 1700 for us. Hello to Omizi. Just taking the new openings for a spin, Omid. Intermediate move, that's right, Carvalma. Alright, do we still have our good friend Eddie here with us? Hey Chafx, I see that you made it. Great stuff.